Hello everybody, this is Purge, and I'm bringing you guys a game from the defense. This is going to be the Losers Bracket Final, and we're watching EG versus Quantic. I am here with Luminous. How you doing, man?
I am doing great. Glad to be here. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. I'm excited to watch this. I got the day off just so I could cast this best of three, so I'm excited to see who goes to the finals. I think Navi, if you guys didn't know, Navi is in the finals, the Winners Bracket Finals. They beat EG there 2-0. Moderately soundly, and now it's going to be the Losers Bracket Finals. Whoever wins this is going to go play EG in the actual game finals. So I think at this point they're all guaranteed $1,500, I believe, or 1,500 euros, sorry. Second place I think is 2,500, and grand prize is 5k euros, so there's a lot of money on the line here.
Yep, of course Navi will have one game lead coming out from the Winner Bracket Finals, so they would have an advantage winning a best of 5 series. And that's going to be cast this Sunday, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe that is Sunday. That should be pretty awesome, too. I'll definitely be there for those. But starting out, EG is going to ban out a Shadow Shaman and Quantic with a Windrunner, and there's still an Anti-Mage and Invoker and any other new heroes. We actually saw a lot of Silencer play, or at least a Silencer game last week. That was pretty fun. I enjoyed watching that game. I don't know if you... Yeah. Did you cast that game?
I don't think I did.
No. Okay, that was last week. I think that was AL versus Quantic, I believe. Absolute Legends played him and played him very well. So other than that, still waiting on a lot of heroes to get ported over. Excited to see how that changes things.
Yep, I've also heard that the Quantic team has been practicing Shadow Fiend. They brought it out the other day against Fnatic. That was in the Premier League.
Interesting.
So maybe we're going to see it today. I don't know how they make it work, but it is working. And we see Enchantress ban not a Chen against EG, so a little bit more afraid of the early game aggression that Enchantress can get. You get 2 or 3 creeps right at level 1 and you go for a big push. Of course, the pure damage granted by the Impetus is very, very strong as well. So, but giving up a Chen so early or Invoker is crazy. And Migo very confident to ban Enchantress instead.
Yeah, I think what they're going for, I saw this in a previous game. I don't know if this was if Navi used this against someone or what, but there's still 3 really good heroes in. There's Invoker, there is Chen, and there is Nature's Prophet. EG, the best hero out of those 3 by itself is probably Invoker, but if EG picks up Invoker, then Quantic now gets a Chen as well as a Nature's Prophet, both very good pushing heroes,
right.
And there they go. That's what's going to happen. So it's all they have to do at this point out is make sure that they have the options to stop an Invoker, and all of the arguably best heroes in the pool are completely out of the lineup. So this is something I've seen the teams do occasionally, and you could tell by the time that Malk spent waiting that they, you can always tell how long they take to pick. Has it thrown a kink in their gears, kind of thing? Do they have to adjust their picks as a result? And I think that worked pretty well so far.
Yep. We now, of course, the pushing power is going to be coming in, so we should be expecting something like a Venomancer and a Sand King. Both something are very, very good in terms of defending a push. Sand King also kind of prevent the enemy team from picking into a Broodmother, which will really make Quantic's pushing lineup to be extraordinarily scary. But we'll see. I think Venomancer will get picked. The question is whether something else would be. I don't see any other really top tier here. I do believe Darkseer is a viable candidate here, but then we're suddenly looking at very weak early game as Invoker and Darkseer would be. They're not the best in that stage of the game.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Darkseer can sometimes make stuff happen, but it's usually not that useful unless you're against a solo hero or something like that. If you're ganking with the Darkseer on a dual lane, your HP is still pretty low. I mean, Surge is great and all, and so is the Ion Shell, but it's usually better off for Darkseer to just solo a top lane and try to get as much farm EXP as possible. So Malk is sitting on 2 picks here. He's got 50 seconds left, and like we said, Venomancer definitely a possibility, as well as Darkseer. So maybe we'll see something. Counter pushing is probably what they're going to be concerned with, but once again, I love the Windrunner ban by Quantic. In my opinion, Windrunner is the best counter pusher against a Chen, just because you have a very low cooldown, high damage nuke that you can spam from range, just clear out those creeps as fast as possible. It's very important to be able to kill those Chen creeps, otherwise they'll be able to tank the tower, and you can get a really, really early tower.
Not only that, Chen creeps in the front, a lot of players feel like they are safe standing behind those meat shields, but that is just, shackle shot. Food for the Windrunner, so that is a very good ban. So we're going to see the Sand King and a Broodmother, so they're going to get some pressure of their own, and it seems like EG is really content to try to win this game by having strong lanes, which both Invoker and Broodmother excels in. I wonder what the Sand King is going to play as. Is he going to be farming? Is he going to be more of a secondary support for EG? He is a very versatile as a hero, so he could do a lot of that.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and that you're right. That's one thing that's a little weird about their picks so far is they already have 3 arguably farm-dependent heroes, or at least the way that we've been seeing Sand King be played the last couple weeks by top teams has been as a solo hero, usually on long lane solo, but of course they do have the Broodmother, so which one are they going to go for? Are they going to let Sand King solo the top, or are they going to let Broodmother? Are they going to play Sand King as a support? That's possible, but then his contribution isn't as good. It's going to be a long time until he gets his Blink Dagger, and that can be a big deal. If once Sand Kings get the Blink Dagger, they literally can carry the mid game for like a couple team fights there. The epicenter is just so good if you can get it off, and really good against heroes like Chen. Chen has a lot of creep to tank, he has good support abilities and things like that, but if you can just burst him down immediately before he gets anything off, it makes a giant difference.
Yeah, well, when the level gets a little bit higher, the pulse damage won't be killing Chen as fast, so he will have a little bit of time to get off the Hand of God, and that could turn the tide of the battle. Sand King usually is being played by Lacoste on AG's squad, and he, for the past couple weeks, have been literally winning games by himself with the Sand King. Sand King is a very, very game-changing hero. If you get a couple good ganks off, you get epicenter on the carry, and suddenly you're looking at 3-4 kill advantage, and then a tower advantage or two. And Lacoste's been doing a lot of that dirty work in the past couple of weeks, so do look to him to play the Sand King and have an exceptional time against Quantic. I'm very surprised that they pick up Tidehunter so early when there's some other arguably better teamfight heroes in the pool. I would think Darkseer would be better, maybe Enigma would be better, but Tidehunter is the choice, and I'm not really understanding this one.
Yeah, like you said, there's some arguably better heroes. The downside is that they don't really have any reliable stuns yet, I would say. So maybe picking up something like a Venomancer instead of the Tidehunter would have left them a little scared. So maybe they just really wanted that Tidehunter glue in sorts. Like his ulti just really fills a lot of gameplay gaps. If you make a couple mistakes, his ulti can really just stun everybody, break the chain of initiation, and set up your team a little bit better. So I think that might be some of the reason that they picked him up there. I think Tidehunter still definitely has a place in high level, and they end up banning a lot of really good heroes anyways. There's a Leshrac out, but primarily the Enigma as well as the Venomancer is going to prevent a lot of pushing possibilities out of EG. They're literally just sitting on a Broodmother right now, and then Leshrac's gone. That's another arguable pushing hero, and are there many left? There's not really that many pushing heroes left.
Well, there's one thing that's flaring my mind, and I hope Quantic do pick it up. It is going to be the Pugna, because that ward will zap the Sand King before he could channel his blink, or channel and then blink in. That will cancel the Blink Dagger. He cannot do anything. That ward will absolutely decimate Invoker, both in terms of giving him damage and also that negative regen or degen in terms of mana will hurt Pugna. Will hurt Invoker very much so, and of course it combines with the pushing power very well. But it seems like neither team is thinking of that. They're going to pick up the Mirana and the Vengeful Spirit instead.
Yeah, I like the Vengeful Spirit pick. I think it's going to fit, give a couple extra stuns to EG, which will be a nice swap, obviously very useful as well. Chen's going to have to be a lot more careful now. Sometimes you can miss micro a little bit and get picked off just by getting a little too close to the Vengeful Spirit. And finally, Priest of the Moon pick out of Quantic. It's a hero that we've been seeing a crap load lately. I know when I cast Premier League with you, you said it was like 8 games in a row or something like that.
70% win rate in the Premier League.
Yeah, very, very high. And that's starting to make me think maybe it really is Mirana. Maybe it isn't the other heroes on her team, stuff like that. But she's going to be able to solo a lane or do a support lane, maybe like a Mirana Tide lane. It's pretty strong, decent offensive capability. Get the gush off, follow up with an arrow, and maybe get a Starfall after that and kill some heroes. So that's always going to be a nice possibility. And going to see a cool Queen of Pain out of EG. They actually do play Queen of Pain occasionally. I've seen Malk actually do this a couple times in some of his games.
And I'm screaming for Pugna right now, because Pugna would absolutely decimate this lineup. Oh my god, that ward will zap like crazy. In terms of laning here, we're going to see Miguel going to mid lane for sure with that Prophet. He's been very, very good with Prophet, taking advantage of the animation. Of course, he will be TPing to the rune to deny the enemy solo mid for the runes as well. And it's going to be a Crystal Maiden instead, so we're going to see a farming Tide of some sort, because Mirana will get a farming lane, of course. And if we're looking at the other lane, I think Tidehunter's going to get the lane. I think we casted several games, or at least one game for this, and it works very nicely. Tidehunter gets a quick arcane boots, he hits level 9 very rapidly, and that's kind of the level he needs to really make a big impact in a game like this.
Yeah, Anchor Smash is not to be underestimated. I mean, alone it does 225 physical damage. If you can drop a Tide Ravage and then follow up with an Anchor Smash hitting like 3 people, that's a lot of damage in the early game when everybody's armor levels are very low. Since Anchor Smash does do physical, it's not magic. It also applies that 40% debuff to damage, which is a huge number in the early game. 40% is giant, and heroes like Broodmother, even Vengeful Spirit, they need to have that little bit of extra damage out of their auto attacks. It's going to really make the EG team do less and be a lot more reliant on their spells, and that's going to make all the difference, I think, coming down to whether or not those epicenters will get off. They really need to make sure that they can stay alive and stuff like that.
Yeah, that 40% damage reduction, something that it's very underestimated by a lot of players. And talking about the Quantic squad here, we have Mania playing the Chen. He's been playing the Chen for a long time. He used to be Rice, that is the Chen player, but Rice playing the Crystal Maiden today. Link's going to be playing the Marana. We have Angel playing the Tide Hunter. Angel generally the, I guess, the carry or farmer player, so he's going to be playing a Tide. And we're going to have Migo playing the solo mid-prophet.
And who is L on Quantic? Are you familiar?
Link.
Oh, it is Link, okay. Alright, for the Radiant team here, Lacoste is on the Broodmother. Misery is going to be playing Queen of Pain. We have Melk on the Vengeful Spirit. Fury is going to be playing Sand King. And the remaining hero is Invoker, and that is going to be, is that Demon? I guess that's going to be Demon. Demon going to be playing the Invoker. Excited to see how that goes.
Yep, I think Demon, their standard solo mid player.
Yeah, and surprisingly, who's missing? Playmate. Playmate actually hasn't been in a couple games recently for EG. I mean, there's going to be more speculation, I guess, about what's going on with their player base, but you know, I'm sure he's just busy or something. That's why they have a 6-man roster, so they can do stuff like this. They can say, well, Playmate has 2 weeks where he's really busy with work or something, and all of a sudden, then Demon gets to play for 2 weeks, you know? And it's going to allow them to not have to force stand-ins, especially at this point in a tournament. You do not want to play with stand-ins when you've got $1,000 on the line. Whoever wins this is guaranteed an extra 1K euros. So I think that's pretty important.
Not too sure if Milk is having a jibe at Demon. He's just called him EG6. The 6-man here for EG. Yeah, not many, or in fact, I don't know any pro teams right now actually have 6-man roster. That all 6 players, I guess, play very equally. So I don't know if it actually hurts their practice sessions or whatever else. But hey, they're very. I mean, this is the loser bracket finals, so they're doing something right?
Yeah, that's definitely
so
true.
6-man or not, they're playing very well, and we'll see how they're going to take on Quantic today.
Yeah, still interested to see where their lanes are going, but it looks like they're going to go gank. Fury is going to be playing a support Sand King. He's got wards picked up. May end up seeing him roam, which is possible. I think some of these lanes aren't extremely strong, but ganking towards the mid lane with a cold snap is going to be effective with stun on top of that. And maybe Broodmother when he gets a couple more levels in that here. Queen of Pain might be able to do some nice stuff as well. I like the positioning of EG right now. Misery standing in the open here. He can always skill up Blink and blink away in case a 6 or 5-man gank ends up coming. So I think that's pretty smart. And they're going to back up. They realize the time has passed. And of course Quantic wasn't doing that anyways, but just to be safe, I think that was pretty smart.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that actually Fear was playing the Sand King. Lacoste, of course, one of the best Broodmother player on their team. He farms up so quickly. And I do look towards him to get some big items, whether Orchids or BKB, very quickly, and try to control his lane like that.
And if you guys are wondering, this is literally a game of almost entirely Danish players, which is kind of funny. There's actually 2 Danish teams primarily. EG's Demon as well as Fear are both American, but the rest of their team roster is all, except for Lacoste, I believe. Is Lacoste, I can't remember, is he Swedish? I can't remember. Something like that. I don't think he's Danish, though. But there's a ton of Danish players, that's for sure. The Dire team, I believe, is almost all Danish.
And do you know if this is a US East host, or is this a Euro host? Okay.
Alright, and it looks like...
Odd to see that 2 primarily European teams would play on American hosts, but there are 2 American players on EG, so there is some lag issues, I suppose.
Yeah, it's always kind of an interesting fight in the pregame lobby. They sometimes argue about those points. They're like, oh, well, we should be able to do this host because we have 2 North American players. But then it's like, but 8 out of the 10 people in the lobby are from Europe. Why would we play on US East, you know? But it's not that big of a deal. At least for me playing Europe, I haven't had too many issues either. So, and I'm sure some of these pros aren't too horrible off.
It seems like it's going to be Queen of Pain and Sand King on the top lane here with Crystal Maiden pulling the jungle. Interesting here, no stack pull, just a regular pull here and get some EXP that way. She's going to be very close to level 2, and we're going to have Angel getting the very quick level 2 in the lane. And I wonder if it's going to be skilling Aura. We're going to see something like an Arzar build, just max both spells, ignore the Aura, and go from there. We'll see what Rise take here.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Angel picks up the Anchor Smash at level 1. I've seen him do this other games as well. A nice little pull coming from the Queen of Pain. But I think he does this because he expects to be up against a Broodmother, but most importantly, it assists him getting those last hits. 75 damage at level 1 is more than 56 damage, and it's AoE, so he can actually CS a little bit better, and it'll get him a little bit better kickstart. It's kind of similar to having a Quelling Blade in some ways, so I like that pickup with the Anchor Smash. I think it's pretty smart.
Back in the mid lane here, we're going to have Migos Firian against Demon's Invoker. Invoker will have the laning advantage. We see at level 2. 7 HP regen per second, pretty broken stuff. Migo tangling up, right now. But look towards Migo to TP in. What Migo loves to do is TP in very, very early, have that Prophet summon at level 4, so you get a kill and you get a push going on. But look at Demon harassing Migo up. It's going to force him to tango a little bit more. And I wonder what Migo is going to go into. I've seen a lot of Midas first, I've seen a lot of Urn first, maybe even Mecha first. So let's see how he's going to adjust to this game.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what he's going to go for. I do love the heavy stats that he's sitting on, though. I think that's really smart. Gets +6 to everything. He grabbed a double tango at the start of the game. And this puts his HP in really safe amounts. 700 HP, or just under it, is really, really high for the start of the game. That way, when he does TP to those side lanes, even if he gets stunned or something like that, it's really not a big deal.
Yeah, man, but that Invoker Cold Snap Harass is just so broken in the early game. Just 2 hits and he's down at half HP again. And you can see that because he has that 7 HP constant regen, he could just actually sit here and tank a lot of creeps. But here comes a smoke gank from Quantic. And yeah, there's a Sprout. Or do we have the bite though? He could actually go into Ghost Walk. Not enough time for him to invoke, and Chen picks up the first blood. Great smoke gank coming here from Quantic. And Crystal Maiden grabbing some points of EXP. He is skilling Nova instead of Aura, so that's an indication that he might not take Aura too much later, if at all. Because generally, if you take an Aura, you take it at 3.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And interesting, I love the play of the Chen as well as the Crystal Maiden. They absolutely squeezed on the outside wall of the middle of the river. They didn't go on the high ground, surprisingly. But if you go on the high ground, you're going to take possibly 1 tower shot as you curve around. So I just really like their positioning there. They did that very well. And Demon, unfortunately for him, his Invoke was on cooldown. Could have gone invisible otherwise. And they were able to luck out on that kill. So that worked out pretty good for them.
Good job by them picking that kill. I'm looking towards bot lane here, and I do believe Link's going to have a tough time in this lane here. Mirana, one of the better lane here to survive a lane, but surviving and winning a lane are 2 different things. And Broodmother's having absolute free farm at this point. She could push the tower whenever she actually wants, because again, Starstorm not the best defensive spell in terms of countering push. Those Spiderlings were actually able to tank a single Starstorm and still push. And I think this push is coming right now, as you see. Wow, Catapult up here, Spiderlings everywhere, and a lot of creeps going their way.
Yeah, the tower's going to take a lot of damage. Starstorm will go down, but Link is only level 4, so not that much damage being done. Lacoste can always be aggressive. He can back spiders off, let Vengeful Spirit farm in the jungle, and that's kind of what's been happening. If you look at Malk, he's level 4 already with a level 5 Broodmother, and they're up against a level 5 Mirana, so that's very, very smart what they did there. Grabbed a couple Spiderlings, let Malk get some solo EXP, and now it's even more dangerous when he comes out to gank.
Yep. A lot of pro players not really used to playing against a level 11 Venge, and we might see that in this game, that Vengeful range increase. And here we go, a jungle gank coming in from Quantic. They are smoked up, just waiting for Crystal Maiden to catch up a little bit. We do have Breach Speed up on Chen, and generally we don't see that such a purchase so early, but it is going to be able to allow him to get a couple of right kicks in. Here we go, Vengeful Spirit is going to be seeing Crystal Maiden, Invis not a smoke. Invis is going to run out right now. They have to make a go. There we go, there's going to be a Nova Tornado up in the air. That tests up a massive damage. And Milk's going to go down to Chen. Chen pick up 2 early kills here. And they actually pick off a couple of spiders and get some more gold here. That Starstorm's going to get dropped. That Tornado doing massive amount of damage. I wonder who's going to push from this.
Yeah, they might. They cleared the creep wave here. They got the pull. There's a little bit of nuke on Crystal Maiden. He doesn't have a lot of regen, just sitting on 2 sets of tangos here. So I think Lacoste is at the very least going to be able to force them back and prevent them from pushing in. But Lacoste may be able to pick up the Wildkin and defend this push here. I think he's going to be okay, but not a whole lot Mal could do about that.
Yep. There was a pull going on the top lane here. I'm not sure. I think Angel pulled that one, as no one was really in this lane. Of course, Sand King and Misery happy to clean that one up. Misery playing the Queen of Pain. EG has so many players that could play so many different heroes. It's so hard to call who's playing what, but they could all play kind of everything.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And once again, Tidehunter is maxing out Anchor Smash first. It's going to allow him to do that nice AoE. He picks up the Energy Booster, which means he wants a really fast Arcane Boots. And in these teamfights, man, 4-second cooldown of 225 physical AoE damage. That is a monster when you're survivable enough to actually tank those up. So I'm sure that's what he's going to be going for. And it's going to be interesting to see how well that impacts the mid-game.
Yeah, maybe that's why they wanted to pick a Queen of Pain as well, to be able to really nuke down that Tidehunter very, very rapidly. And in terms of having so many nukers on the Radiant side, I'm wondering if the Sand King's going to pick up a mid-game Veil Discord, or if anyone's going to pick up a Veil Discord. Actually make a big difference in terms of nuking down the Chen. The Hand of God usually is a very good defensive spell, but against 25% magical increase in terms of damage. It makes a big difference for like Screen of Pain, Sonic Wave, things like that.
Yeah, it's definitely true. And let's check the CS totals quick for the Radiant team. We have 10 on Vengeful Spirit, mostly neutrals, I'm assuming. We have 33 on the Broodmother, 26 on the Queen of Pain, 19 on Invoker, and 11 on Sand King. Really, really well distributed farm. And the Dire team at 18 with Nature's Prophet, 27 on Mariana, 23 on Chen, and 23 on Tidehunter.
Regeneration.
Right now, Vengeful Spirit trying to get a D-ward off, and that is going to be a fresh 6-minute ward that he's going to be D-warding. That's going to be nice. Here comes the Centaurs, Andy Wildgun trying to scare everyone away, but Demon able to pick that one off very nicely for Milk to realize that there's a ward uphill. Nicely done for him. And on the bot lane here, Link having tough time still. He does not have his magic bottle. I think he does. He's bottom crawling. Yeah, the crow is flying back and forth. And that's going to be the regen that he needs to stay in the lane. But again, he might be defending his tower, but Lacoste is still free farming right now.
Yeah, and that's a big deal, man. Farmed Broodmothers can actually be very, very aggressive in the mid game, especially in the next 5 or so minutes. He's going to be constantly looking for kills on Link. Link's obviously going to be very careful. He's a very good player. And he does have Leap, luckily, but with a couple of harasses and more spam Spiderlings, you know, Link is going to have a tough time. He pretty much has to bottle Crow, otherwise he's going to have to go back and heal very, very continuously, which is going to tie up this courier, and that might impact the rest of the team as well.
Yep. Tidehunter got to be very careful on that top lane, and Queen of Pain getting enough mana to use both his nukes, and a single Burrow Strike is all they need to get a very easy kill here on Quantic Angel. Of course, he does have a single level Kraken Shell that might actually debuff him and give him a chance to survive, but against burst nukes like Screen of Pain and Sonic Wave, very easily bring him down and look towards Angel to actually die if he's not careful enough.
Yeah, that's definitely possible, and I'm a little surprised that no towers have fallen yet this game, considering all the pushing heroes that we're playing with. Chen has done a lot more ganking than he has pushing, that's for sure, and that's a little interesting, but he is decently farmed now. He's at level 5, just about to hit level 6, 2 levels of Test of Faith, just about to pick up an extra creep, and we'll see if he goes for a fast mech. I'm not really sure. Actually, does he have items? There's a lot of stuff on the courier. I think it's going for a Crystal Maiden, though. Yeah, it's going to be a smoke for the Chen, and we'll see if they turn this into a gank shortly.
Yeah, very well farmed support. You do that Tidehunter just die on the top lane, of course. Scream Wave, Sonic Wave and Screen Pain, everything on cooldown, they were able to pick him down very quickly. Yeah, but look at the supports level. We're seeing quite high level. You were talking about the Vengeful Spirit high level, the Sand King fairly high level, and of course the Chen and the Crystal Maiden, who sets up another smoke gank. They're at level 5 and 6. So with Quantic Mania at level 6, that Hand of God is so very useful in terms of prolonging that team fight and allowing the Prophet TP in. TP, of course, the Prophet does have an Earn First. And I really love that build. Once you get a gank going for that 200 damage unit, they just keep on rolling. And you just have so much killing potential with the help of your teammates.
Really lucky show up there by Quantic. Crystal Maiden spotted the Vengeful Spirit from the high ground here. Mania in position now. He's still smoked up, and here comes the push. They now know what's going on. We do have an Invoke possible from Invoker, but he's going to probably wait for the EMP Tornado combo. He wants to lower the mana of these guys, but unfortunately they do have that Arcane Boots, so it's not going to hurt quite as bad. Creep Wave is cleared now, doing damage to the tower. The Satyr is tanking this up, and somebody is roaming from the mid lane. It looks like it's Fear coming from the top lane. I don't know if he's going to get here in time, though.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Glyph is already used. Tower taking massive damage. I think he might make it in time, but he can't really initiate into this because Angel is level 6 and or level 7 at this point. But great deny here by Demon. Wow,
that's good.
That was clutch because 5 heroes were on that tower and actually wasted out quite a bit of time here for Quantic.
Yeah, that's 500 gold that the Dire team is never going to get back from that. Nicely done. Drop the Tornado down, and while they're in there with his really high base damage with these phase boots, he picks off the deny. It really is going to impact it a lot. Those support heroes are going to have to get farm other ways. Usually they just end up doing a lot of early tower pushing heroes like Nature's Prophet and Chen. They just push those first couple towers, and all of a sudden they have a big gold advantage, and they continue that for the rest of the game. But unfortunately, they're not going to see that. Not going to see as much gold this time.
Yep. Meanwhile, the bot tower here for the Dire side, very low HP, a single teleportation coming in, that is going to be sanking. They want to push this tower down, and Link actually just leaps back. That tower's going to be dead.
Courier's out of base, so just brought him items. He didn't have any mana left, so I think he's a little scared, but top tower taking some damage now by the Nature's Prophet as well as the Tide's Crystal Maiden, and Misery is in position. He does have his ulti, so he's thinking about it, but probably not going to see TP. He doesn't look like anyone's interested in it. He doesn't get the last hit, unfortunately. Nature's Prophet does kill that tower, so not going to see 2 denies here. And is Demon going to be able to get the last hit? He does. Tries the Tornado of Migo, but was a little bit earlier there, but got the tower, so nice trade there for EG. Actually, they got bot as well. Wow, that was a 2-for-1. That was big.
Yeah, Lacoste just popped his ultimate and got a lot of plus damage and just kind of railed that tower down. And now Potom getting back and able to defend his own tower. Very unfortunate for Quantic here, but look at the tower counts. You were just saying not many pushing going on, and in the span of a couple of seconds, 3 or 4 towers just went down. They go different chart, going erratic at this point. But Radiant with that deny and 2 successful tower last hits, they're up to a 1,000 gold lead. So very nicely done for EG right here.
That's very interesting. Looks like there might be a gank on the mid lane, guessing for a tornado and maybe a stun follow-up. They're thinking about it. It is nighttime, so Nature's Prophet does not see him. Here comes the tornado, maybe. No, he's just going to do the dime. I'm a little surprised that they're not going on that. I think they're maybe a little afraid that Nature's Prophet is baiting this out. The creep wave will push forward, and that's going to allow Demon to continue farming. He does have his Drum of Endurance, and we'll see if he goes for maybe a Force Staff or a Yule Scepter next.
Yep. Meanwhile, a little bit of gank attempt on the bot lane here. Crystal Maiden does have her Sentry Ward, 3-level Bite, 3-level Nova. It is going to be the Arzart build, as we are calling it right now, because, well, he's the first person that did it. It's going to be a push on the bot lane, and here comes EG trying to defend this one. Angel going to be tangled up with Fear in the jungle, and I think he's going to be fine. So it's going to be yet another 5-man push on the bot lane, and Quantic seems to be realized that with the Chen in the front, with Tidehunter in front, threatening to Ravage, there's really no way that EG could actually initiate a team fight, and because of that, they could just take 3 towers. Let's see if Demon's going to deny this one. No deny attempted, and Angel and his team of Quantic, they could keep doing this non-stop until EG actually want to take them on a fight. They could keep on pushing.
Yeah, they definitely could. There's a ring health up on the Tidehunter. Maybe getting a Vanguard, perhaps. Either a Vanguard or a Pipe is what I'm expecting out of him. He's going to teleport back to the mid lane to continue farming there, and Fear is now doing a little bit of roaming. He's got his Arcane Buff with a Magic Stick, so he's moderately capable ganker at the moment. He's going to be looking for Nature's Prophet. Sankin can always Burrow Strike, ulti, any chance he wants against Nature's Prophet, and most likely do tons of damage. And I think they will be looking for Misery has spotted him out now, or at least Migo has spotted the Queen of Pain. And they really want to get the Burrow Strike ulti off. If they can combo on this Nature's Prophet, there's no way he'll survive.
Yep. You know, we see a Bracer on Link's Mirana, and that's no kind of coincidental. It is actually going at Drums Mirana quite frequently in the last couple of games I've seen him play. And I think the reason for this is that Mirana is actually not too useful as a hero. She's going to get ganked here. Oh, can she dodge that Magic Missile? No, she's going to get nuked on so hard. Leaps way into the jungle. Tree gets destroyed and get a right click down. Yeah, but back to Drums on the Mirana. She's not too useful as a hero until you get the Manta style, and that's way too long for this stage of the game where a lot of pushing are done, a lot of team fights are fought over. So Drums very useful in terms of helping out your team, and it's pretty decent stats even for a agility hero like Mirana.
Yeah, it is really important. And if we look at the hard carry potential for either team, you pretty much got a Broodmother and possible semi-carries coming from a Queen of Pain Invoker, and that's going to be up against a Mirana and a semi-farm Tide, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Like you said, going to need at least a Manta style before Mirana is able to contribute a whole crap load. So I think Quantic has to be a little worried here. They do have a slight tower advantage. Yeah, they have a 1 tower advantage. One of those was denied, though, so they're really not that far up on EG here, and I think EG's got to be pretty happy with the situation so far.
Yeah, in terms of hero potential, I gotta say I give it to the EG squad, especially they're not really down that much. They're down a couple of towers, but nothing too big to talk about. So in terms of approaching the mid game, if they get sufficiently farmed, they should be alright. But I'm looking at Dire, and I feel like they are having the goal lead at this point. They could continue to get the goal lead. Seems EG does not want to take any team fight, so because of that, Quantic could keep on getting pushes done, or they could get the free Aegis. I feel the Aegis is absolutely free until the Broodmother gets a BKB. They cannot engage until the Broodmother gets BKB.
Well, that time has come. He's already got his Black King bar up at 15 minutes with a Soul Ring, Treads, and a Basilius. Luminous is right to say, wow, that's ridiculously good farm, and that's because he's had free farm on the bot lane. He's able to push towers when he wants to. He's able to get ridiculous farm. And if we look at his CS totals so far, 111. Nobody is even vaguely close to that. The closest on the enemy team is 73.
And that suddenly becomes a very difficult thing for Quantic to deal with. If Broodmother pops his BKB and runs straight in, what can Quantic do? Quantic cannot send their Tidehunter, which they've been doing, to the front and kind of scare him off, because Lacoste says, I don't care, I got BKB up for 10 seconds. So really now the table is kind of flipped, and let's see how Quantic's going to return. They don't have any physical damage that's anything near remarkable to dump onto that Broodmother.
It looks like the Tide did pick up a pipe, or I'm sorry, a hood so far. Most likely going to be going for a pipe this game. I think that was actually really smart in this case. Don't normally see Tidehunters get farmed, but I think if he can get a really fast pipe up, that's going to help a lot against heroes like even Sand King, Invoker, and Queen of Pain. Tons of AoE magic damage monsters, so I think that's really smart in this case. It's going to be a bit before he does pick that up. He's about 900 gold away, but once he does grab that, he's going to be good to go. More than that, 1200 I think. Yeah.
And it is going to be that early Roshan attempt that we're talking about here. Let's see if Radiant team is going to answer back. They don't have... The Queen of Pain is very, very far away from this Rosh. And that's good job to Quantic being able to take down the mid tower here for the Radiant side. No TP no tower for Misery to quickly TP to. And that's going to be a free Aegis. Let's see who's going to throw it this on. I do believe it's a Mirana, but is Mirana doing enough damage to warrant that Aegis?
It's hard to say, but is anyone else going to contribute more? I would say maybe Nature's Prophet, but one little Spider Lane, Spider-Right's going to run in and see what's going on. Broodmother is going to go in, he's going to pop his ulti, and here comes the BKB. Still hasn't used it yet, but the EMP comes down as well. Now going after Tidehunter, he's got Ravage, but he's going to wait till the BKB runs out, and nobody from EG follows up there. That was like a really lackluster team fight.
Yeah, Lacoste was using his BKB Brood, attacking Chen creeps, and that was like, alright, Quantic says, we'll back off for now, but once we get better positioning, once we get some mana back up from that EMP Tornado, we're going to go right back. Now we have Ravage, and you don't have a BKB Brood. We'll take this fight.
Yeah, they've got to wait 50 seconds here to get that up. The Sentry Wards are on the ground. Lacoste does know that that's happening. There's this Treant spawns by Nature's Prophet. Fear is in position. This is really good positioning by Fear. All he has to do is channel that ulti and Burrow Strike right through, just as good as Black King Bar. There's the channel. He's going to Burrow Strike on in. Unfortunately, the Tornado a little bit mistimed, but the AoE damage is doing a lot to Angel. Angel has no mana at all. He does have Arcane, though, and here comes the Ravage, doing a lot of damage. Misery's going to get picked off on the Queen of Pain just barely. He's got 4 HP, but he does end up going down. Tidehunter picks up the Aegis of the Mortal. He does die. Arrow gets a kill as well on the Sand King, and that was a good team fight for Quantic. They just traded an Aegis for a Sand King and a Queen of Pain.
Great move by Quantic, and I do believe that's a strategical mistake by EG. They used the BKB, or I guess the better term is they wasted a BKB, and they still want to take that fight. Of course, Sand King and the Screen of Pain, maybe they felt like they were able to nuke down the Tidehunter so quickly that he could not even get off his Ravage. They also dumped the EMP Tornado, hoping that he cannot, get off his Ravage. But right now, Quantic extremely prepare a Hood and Arcane Boots on the Tidehunter, correctly identifying that the only two things that's going to stop me is an instant KO and, of course, Mana Burn. And Angel was able to get off that Ravage, and that, no pun intended, was what turned the tide of the battle.
Yeah, it definitely is a big deal there. He's going to probably pick up a Magic Wand as soon as he finishes the pipe, so even if his mana gets completely drained, he's going to be able to pop his Wand as well as his Arcane Boots and get a guaranteed Ravage off. And he is level 11 now, so his ulti is doing even more damage, up to 350, and stuns for an extra 0.3 seconds, which is going to make a nice little impact. We saw how fast the Queen of Pain died. She initiated there, 800 HP, only sitting on treads, not getting the best farm top, and I'm sorry, that's Vengeful Spirit, excuse me. She actually has an Ultimate Orb as well as treads and a Circlet, so decent farm there, 1100 HP, but still got bursted down really fast there, was sitting low HP as soon as she went in there.
Yeah, Misery went for the Aegis Seal. I'm not too sure whether that was the best of moves. That was a def that he didn't really need to pick up, but I'm just looking at Tidehunter's Ravage and how it scales upward, and it's like, who wrote this? Like, yeah. 2.02 to 2.32, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. I think that was like the spike animation of going up in the air. They didn't count that in Dota 1. It's the same with Lion Impale. I think Lion Impale said it was for 0.5 second disable, but the air knock-up time gets added in Dota 2, which is rightfully so.
I see. So that's why these numbers look all
weird and
all
random.
Funky, yeah. But yeah, 20 minutes of gameplay. We see 1 kill lead here for the Dire side. Definitely not the exciting game that we are expecting from both these two teams. Both teams really finagling for positioning, to be honest. They're kind of being very, very careful for each other. In terms of tower, Radiant has lost 3 and Dire has only lost 2. And like I pointed out earlier, towers in this kind of game very important in terms of map control for Roshan fights. And I need to write down when they took down Rosh. It was about 2 minutes ago, so about 18 minutes, right?
Yeah, about there, I think. Radiant team now pushing the top lane. Tower is easily the last hittable. Queen of Pain picks that up to 2k gold. Most likely going to be grabbing a sheep stick, and that is going to be really nasty. If Priest of the Moon hopes to carry it all, she's going to have to get a Black King Bar pretty much for sure, because if you can do a blink sheep, that's an extremely long range disable. And after that comes off, if you can't get the Manta split, if you can't cast any of your spells and you get bursted down in that sheep duration, that's really bad news, especially when you don't have a lot of hard carry in the meantime.
Yeah, it seems like Quantic just want to finish the game with a push right now. Migo is Necro Book 2 already, and I think they are going to bring down this tier 2 tower and even go for a Rax trade, or maybe not a Rax trade, a Rax attempt. And I do believe that EG has to TP back. They don't push nearly as fast That's a Quantic squad, and Ravage is back up. So Pipe is up as well. I think they can pop the Pipe and go right in here for the Rax.
Yeah, they do have, they did trade a tower at least, so it's a tier 2 for a tier 2. Quantic wants this for sure. Tidehunter will pop Piper right about now, I think, and he's going to go up on the high ground. Maybe he's not, he's going to dodge the EMP. Yes, he does. Miggle does get hit by it, as well as Link. That's a big deal, but the Arcane comes down, and that's going to heal up a lot of the mana here. The Glyph is up, Misery almost getting caught there. And there's a Django pop as well. The Necro 2 is up, doing some nice attack speed. And this tower is going to get dropped no matter what. There's just too many creeps here. Pipe gets popped as well, and here comes Initiation. Angel trying to back up. Lacoste is taking a ton of physical damage. He gets trapped in by so many creeps, and he goes down. EG not initiating. Unfortunately, Ravage drops as well. Now Angel looking for more targets. Fear is going to do a channel ulti. Is going to get disabled. He does get stopped. The arrow from Link, and wow, this is going to be a 22-minute Rax. Huge swing from Quantic if they can win this team fight.
A lot of buyback here from EG. They are not shy with that buyback, and somehow they defended that team fight. I'm not too sure what the Ravage actually hit from Angel. I don't think he actually hit anything, but the BKB Brew got netted by that troll. Yes, it does go through magical immunity. He got Warcraft 3 surrounded and got picked off extremely easily. We have Demon trying to defend especially good. He's out of mana at this point. That means he has to go back. We have Urn from Miggle healing everyone up. Another drum's being charged. And here we go, Sanking coming in. He's going to get disabled. He's going to get right-click off. And somehow these Quantic guys are still alive at this point. Tidehunter's going to right-click down the Rax. Dude, yes, he does. Miggle's Treant's going to finish the job. They have lost Chen by now. Everyone very low HP. This is time for them to back off. And let's see how much can they pick off. And actually, Demon takes the arrow to the face. We have Necrobooks being popped up. I think they are going to be fine as they run back out. And a 23-minute Rax and a 5-kill advantage from Quantic. Very, very strong play so early in this loser bracket final of the defense.
That was really good. That's the best way I can explain that. I mean, jumping up as soon as they grab the mech and the pipe finish, they push. You know, they have less late game potential, but that means that they probably have more early game potential, which is exactly what we saw there. They rolled up to the high ground. They had tons of physical damage from the Chen creeps, from the Treants, from all of the auras that they have stacked up, and then they just took the tower. I mean, the Radiant team couldn't really do anything. They literally probably needed a Sand King with Blink Dagger to shut that down. I don't think there was any way else to stop that. Maybe just like, I don't know, the coordination from EG either way seemed a little bit of spread out, you know? Like, Broodmother went in, popped his BKB, but there was nobody else following up. It reminded me a lot of the Roshan attempt, you know?
Yeah, it's very difficult for the EG to fight a good lineup. They need the Brood to BKB in and basically draw everyone's attention, force everyone to focus on the Brood, and then, you know, when they're all clumped up, you set up for a perfect Sonic Wave, you set up for a perfect Blink Echo Slam. But right now, when Brood comes in, she just either get kited all day because she's, you know, slow and as a melee hero, or she just get right-click down very quickly, a lot quicker than I expected. By that, the Chen having trolls, and he's keeping that troll right here, as that does go through BKB. And here we go, Quantic going right back for the top tower. Tidehunter doesn't even have Ravage up yet, but I guess they feel confident that the EG squad won't pick a team fight right now.
He actually did just get it. I don't know if it just recently cooled down or not. Mirana's the only person.
I guess recently. Yeah.
Okay, Mirana's the only person without it. There's the EMP Tornado. It's getting a lot of people there, catching 3, draining their mana, but if they have enough Arcane Boots, it's not going to be a problem. And yes, Mania does have one as well. Mech is up. He's going to be making a Drum of Endurance next. Top tower is gone. Rax attempt incoming, possibly Vitality Booster as well as a Dust on Tidehunter. And this is looking really bad for EG all of a sudden. They were looking really strong, and then Quantic said, alright, it's time to push.
Meanwhile, EG feared getting this mid tower. If he lasted this one, which he does, he will have Blink Dagger, so look towards him in the next team fight, making a huge impact. Another EMP Tornado does hit on Quantic squad. Tower is down, and this Rax in full breach. Where's the Sand King? Where's the Sand King? Is he channeling ultimate? There is a channel. He's gonna blink right in on top of everyone, but that pipe blocking so much damage. Ravage being dropped here, and Lacoste doing the right click. Someone, for the love of God, just right click the Rax. Very low HP. Angel, yes, he's going to go right on it. They are going to get the Rax no matter what happens. And that's going to be a very, very quick Game 1 victory from Quantic as they even win the team by double kill on Mirana. Range Rax gets right click down as well. And I think that's GG.
That was ridiculously good by Quantic. This is why Link went for the fast Drum of Endurance. He wanted that early game potential, and we just saw it. Like, how much physical damage did they have? Every single time that they had vision on a hero, they would all just right-click him, and they just died right off the bat. They were not going for a 30-minute game here. They weren't even going for a 35-minute game. They wanted to end this at 20 minutes, and they're going to do it, man. The top racks are both gone. There's still a range barracks on bot, but this is a giant disadvantage. It was going good for EG, but then Quantic started pushing, and now it's going to be extremely hard to pull out a win.
Yep. Drums Marana, the next big thing, as they're checking for Roshan, but it should be around 28:30. And they're a little bit early here, and you can see the Mania building the next drum as the first one finished. So they recognize the power of drum, and mathematically, it's one of the highest DPS item in the game. Like we're not talking about Divine Rapier, we're not talking about anything like drums. Yes, if you pop it, mathematically it does so much damage, and it seems like Quantic going to be using those drum charges to way to victory. Now with 2 racks down, they're going to wait for Tide Rapture to be up, heal up some mana, whatever else, and they're going to just go for the GG push.
Yeah, that's definitely what they're going to be going for. Nature's Prophet's going to pop some multis off, wants to push all the lanes if possible. Misery on the top lane, 3,400, so I think he is very close. After this creep wave, he will have his sheep stick finish. That could make a big difference, but the survivability of Quantic's squad is just ridiculous. They're going on Demon now. He's going to get Cyclone. He's going to Cyclone himself in the air. Will he get the Ghost Walk off? There's a Tornado, only catching a creep. He actually doesn't want a Ghost Walk at all because there's a Necro 3 warrior. Wouldn't even save him. There's the Dust as well on Vengeful Spirit. Likely to die. She doesn't have a wand or anything. Is running away, though. The tower may kill the Necro 3, and he's going to survive just barely. That was really nail-biting.
That was close, yeah. Talking about Hex on the Queen of Pain actually might make a decent enough. No, he actually is going to go for Veil of Discord. Let's see if that's going to be it. I was just to say that right now, all these team fights, or at least the bot push team fight, it was so close because everyone was at around 50 HP, 50% HP. Sorry. If the nukes were able to hit, quicker or bigger, it might make a difference. And he realized, hey, we're going to go with the Veil of Discord. If we could nuke him down before anything happens, drum charges don't matter at this point. By the way, Crystal Maiden also has completed drums, so they're just. This is a party, man.
Yeah, this could be the week of the Veil of Discord finally seeing competitive play. IceFrog had to continuously buff it until teams finally said, okay, this is too good to pass up now. And this is the only way they're going to win these team fights. They got to kill all the creeps. There's the EMP Tornado. Are we going to see a Sand King channel? No, he's Sandstormed by the bot lane, getting ready to go in. They're going to wait for the Veil and then do as much AoE damage as possible. This may be the time. The tower is about to fall. Are we going to see it? Nothing quite
yet. There's a Veil, it's popped, Scream of Pain goes in, Sonic Wiggle on top of everyone. Where is the Sand King? Chan King channeling, he is in the back line. Yes, he jumps in right now. Not enough damage as you see everyone alive. Mecha, Hand of God gets popped, and it does not look too good for EG. I gotta say, probably not the best initiation. Sand King came way too slowly for that to really work here. Tower goes down, and the Rax is gonna soon follow. Quantic, 29-minute, 30-minute mega creeps.
That's really good. They played really awesome, great strategy, great hero compositions. Their auras were great. We even have a Vlad's up on Tidehunter so that they can lifesteal and get a little bit of armor out of that. It's just, they are so strong right now, picking off those pushes. There's nothing they could do. I think EG could have had a little bit more coordination in that first push, maybe all popping their ultis at the same time and do as much damage as possible, but it just simply wasn't enough. EMP was never really doing enough out of Invoker, and that was their main hero, and unfortunately for them, just couldn't win the team fights.
Yep. A lot of the Quantic heroes stacking on intelligence, stacking on mana boots, and because of that, that EMP, which is one of the Invoker's strong points when it wasn't able to do too much, we do see Link being sent back right now. Migo is going to be food as he actually might even get for a kill on the Invoker. Invoker very low HP. Migo is going to get right-click down. Tinder is going to back out. But yeah, with Mega Creeps up, it's just a matter of time until EG calls GG, or they're going to drag this out for 20 more minutes and then lose. That's cool too.
I don't think they're going to pull out the win for some reason. And there's a good game being called, so that's going to be game one, guys, going straight to Quantic. This is a best of 3, so they're going to be up 1 here. They just have to pull out one more win, and they're going to go on to the winners, the finals. EG actually made it all the ways to the winner bracket finals, so I think they definitely still have a shot here, but they can't let that same picking situation go. They might have to make sure that either Chen or the Nature's Prophet do get banned, or at least don't both fall into the hands of Quantic.
Or to give them that Tidehunter third pick, maybe that's it. This Tidehunter, pretty good initiator. He's such a big tank. Excuse me, such a big tank, and we do see EG squad leaving the game.
Mostly.
So
Demon is still in the game, kind of delaying everything for everybody. We're gonna wait for him to go out so we can see the score screen. Nobody else has left the game quite yet, so just some of those players, I believe. Yeah, indeed. So game will end shortly. That's why EG lost. I think we covered that quite aptly. And Quantic now enjoying a free Roshan.
Game-changing Rosh right here.
Yeah, for sure.
What is Demon doing? Practicing some invoke combinations or what, man?
I don't know. Maybe they're talking about how the game went and what they want to do next time. That's my guess. Last tower will fall. This range creep is going to beast it down. And Milo coming in to end it. He's got an AC, man. The new...
Dude, that range creep. Look at how hard he hits. 133 damage. He out DPS Invoker right now.
Yes.
Or just
It is
about.
piercing damage, though. It's not regular, so...
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
Is it? I don't think there's any indication of like piercing damage in Dota 2.
It's still there, though. I'm pretty sure.
Alright.
It's harder for the noobs to understand those things. So that's game 1, guys. We'll be back in a second with game 2 and hopefully a game 3 of Quantic versus EG. Thanks for joining me, Luminous. If you want to check him out, youtube.com/LuminousInverse, I believe. And
Yep.
if you want to, well, I guess you'd be watching this video on my channel, but go check out my channel as well, youtube.com/PurgeGamers. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere.